Explosive Hollywood meltdown Diane Keaton brutal smackdown. A Jimmy Kimmel shatters late-night TV forever. Grab your popcorn, folks, because this bombshell is so wild it LL blow the roof off your craziest celebrity nightmares. Picture this Diane Keaton, the Oscar-slaying queen, who has charmed generations with her quirky genius in Annie Hall, her fierce Mama Bear vibes in The Godfather, and her timeless sparkle that outlasted fads and flop struts onto the glittering stage of Jimmy Kimmel Live. She their all-radiant smiles and effortless class, hyping her latest gut-wrenching masterpiece, A Raw Soul. Stirring drama that rips open the ugly truths of growing older in Tinseltown meet grind of the crowd on fire roaring like thunder, because who wouldn't he worship this icon decades of diamond hard talent? She the blueprint for badass women owning every room they enter. But hold up, enter Jimmy Kimmel, that smug king of the couch lounging back like he owns a universe, his grin sharper than a switchblade eyes glinting with fake charm venom ready to strike. What starts as a cozy chat spirals into a volcanic eruption of ego clashes, savage zingers, and one woman's unfiltered fury that leaves jaws on the floor, hearts pounding, and the entertainment empire reeling in stunned silence. This ISNT your grandma. Awkward interview. It's a full throttle cage match of wits, where grace collides with arrogance like a freight train smashing a glass castle. By the time Diane storms off that stage head high as a crown, she not just won the war, she rewritten the rules of respect in Hollywood cutthroat coliseum. Jimmy left sputtering red-faced and utterly dismantled while the internet ignites into a wildfire of memes, rants, and Queen Diane forever chants, "Trust me, this showdown got more twists than a scorpion. Tail more heat than a desert blaze, and enough raw power to make you fist pump the air. If you're not subscribed yet, smash that button. Now, don't you dare miss the chaos. Drop your hottest takes in the comments, Team Diane. Or what let us plunge into this heart-racing hurricane of Hollywood havoc. The fuse lit the instant Diane glided onto that Jimmy Kimmel Live, set her quirky fedora tilted, just so that signature scarf fluttering like a victory flag. The audience detonated in a frenzy of cheers. Whistles slice in the air like confetti cannons, pure adoration for the legend who has been slaying screens since bell-bottoms ruled and typewriters clacked out scripts at 79. Diane not just aging, she conquering her new flick silver, threads a razor-sharp gut punch about fierce women, defying the clock in an industry that chews up youth and spits out wrinkles. It's personally profound, and it's packed with emotional haymakers that leave you ugly crying in the theater. She sinks into that guest, thrown with a glow that screams, "I got stories at LL Curl." Your toes expecting the usual fluff laughs, light teases, maybe a nod to her rom-com reign or her real estate empire that got more mansions than most stars and regrets. But Jimmy, that sly fox with a boy next door smirk masking a pit bull, but he got ambush written all over him, leaning back in his chair like a lazy lion eyeing lunch. He kicks off with what sounds innocent but lands like a sucker punch. Diane darling, he draws that smirk, twisting into something wicked, this new movie of yours. Silver threads write another deep dive into golden years of Hollywood. Come on, R&T, we all just recycling the same old wise elder trope running on fumes here. Or what the studio freezes, that edge in his voice. It's not banner. It's a barb dipped in acid slicing straight at her relevance. Her range of right to keep shining. After 5 decades of dodging industry landmines, the crowd shifts uneasily, murmurs rippling like warning waves a sign. The playful poke we tuned in for the low blow, disguised as a joke aimed at the heart of a woman who has earned every scar and spotlight. Diane's smile flickers just a heartbeat. But damn if she doesn't rally like the warrior. She is her eyes, those soulful windows to 1,000 on-screen battles lock onto his with a warmth that has equal parts honey and steel. Jimmy. She fires back, voice smooth as aged whiskey, but laced with unshakable truth stories about women embracing their power as they age. That not recycling that revolution in a world that shoves us into the shadows. After 40 films like this scream, we're here, we're fierce, and we're just getting started. About real lives, real laughs, real losses, not some dusty trope. And honey, if that is running out of ideas, then sign me up for the drought. Boom mic drop in verbal form. The audience erupts a tidal wave of claps crashing over the awkward hush because Diane didn't just offend, she elevated, turning his snark into stardust. But Jimmy, he not tapping out that ego was bloated on. Years of viral clips and feud swells like a storm cloud. He waves her off with a lazy flick like swatting a fly at a feast's laugh forced. And tinny sure noble cause and all that jazz. He sneers dripping condescension thicker than LA smog. But let us be real, Diane, how many times can we watch you channel that same endearingly frazzle vibe quirky Annie lost in the big city We've seen the reel a dozen times. Audiences crave fireworks not. This cozy campfire chat, the air thickens heavy as a velvet curtain, the silence, screaming louder than any roar. That jab, it's not funny, it's ferocious, shrinking her epic catalog from the neurotic brilliance of Annie Hall, Oscar Gold Baby, to the mobster menace. In The Godfather, the rom-com rapture is something. Gotta give the thriller chills and the family stone down to a cartoonish caricature. It's cruel, it's calculated, and it stings like salt in a fresh wound. Diane's posture snaps taut, that famous warmth cooling to a glacial edge, but her poise ironclad, unbreakable. She tilts her head, eyes narrowing like a hawk spotting prey, the same character Jimmy's sweetheart. She retorts her tone of velvet glove over a brass knuckle. I've embodied neurotic New Yorkers, ruthless crime queens, heartbroken divorcees, sassy seniors kicking. But in boardrooms comedy that had the world howling dramas that wrung out tears like a monsoon, if that is Sammy to you, maybe it's time you cracked open a script instead of recycling your own tired gotchas. A crowd inhales sharply, a collective gas that sucks the oxygen from the room band in the back, frozen mid-note, eyes wide as saucers. Writers up in the booth, probably chugging antacids, praying for a commercial break. This shift, it's seismic. Diane, it's not playing defense. She has to launch and assault her words, weapons forged in the fires of a lifetime battling Hollywood S-glass. Ceilings, Jimmy senses the tide turning that smug fortress, cracking under her glare. But does he retreat? Fat chance. He doubles down, ego revving like a souped-up engine on a cliff's edge. Come on, Diane, don't get your scarf in a twist. He chuckles, but it's hollow, echoing like a bad echo in an empty hall. You know the drill, neurotic, quirky, forever fumbling through life. That your golden ticket, your brand, baby. Own it. Why fight the typecast when it's paying the bills? The audience, a powder keg of soft groans, the vibe souring faster than milk in the sun. His words R&T with their whips lashing her legacy into a lazy label. Ignoring chameleon, she has always been shape-shifting from waif to warrior, ingenue to icon. It's personal, it's petty, and it's poking a sleeping dragon with selfie stick. Diane draws in a breath deep and deliberate, her gaze pinning him like a butterfly to corkboard. When she unleashes, it's a torrent, calm, commanding, cutting deeper than any scream. Jimmy, if you're mistaking my early Woody Allen gems for my whole damn symphony, the S on you. She declares, voice steady as a heartbeat in a hurricane, but boiling artistry down. The buzzwords, that S not insight, that S ignorance wrapped in a punchline, acting as alchemy, turning pain into poetry, vulnerability into victory. Reduce it to quirky, and you're not critiquing, you're just small. The studio, a tomb, so still you could hear whispers from the gods. She S not just clapping back, she S master. Classing him, schooling the room on the sacred grind of true craft, every syllable a spark igniting empathy in the crowd, turning bystanders into her battalion. Rattled Jimmy S. Squirming now, that cool facade fracturing like cheap ice. He rolls his eyes for the cameras, big theatrical begging for laughs. That don't come, oh boy, here we go. He mocks, voice pitching into sarcasm. S shrill register. Lecture time on the art of acting. Diane, our viewers tuned in for zingers, not a TED Talk on method madness. Save the deep dives for Sundance. This is prime-time popcorn, not Philosophy 101. It's a desperate dodge, a sly spin to paint her as the pompous prof and the funny man. Folk here, the audience cringes, visibly ripples of discomfort snaking through the seats, even as die-hard fans, sensing the slime up in control. Producers are dialing damage control, sweat beating on brows, as ratings teeter on this tightrope of trash talk. But Diane, unfazed, unbreakable, leaning in like a lioness, at the killer eyes never blink, holding as hostage your spot on Jimmy, your crowd, IS&T here for masterclasses. She concedes with a nod that feels like a trap springing shut, their craving connection, the spark of seeing idols unfiltered and uplifted, not this ambush disguised as amusement, where you swing low for likes instead of lifting us higher. Thunderclap, the impact ripples outward, electric as a live wire, zapping the smugness right out of him. Jaws drop in the stands, phones whip out to capture the carnage. This is gold viral venom, the kind of clip that crashes servers. Jimmy S. laugh, a bark brittle, and broke his throne, wobbling under the weight of her wisdom. Desperation claws, and he claws back, grasping for the reins like a drowning man at driftwood hay. I'm just voicing the elephant in the room, Diane. He insists, tone oily with false innocence. Everyone that's wondering when that's the last time you dropped a bombshell or roll. That jaw drops wrist, that rewires a game, feels like cozy cruises lately, not cliff dives crossline. Hell yes, tap danced over it into a minefield of misogyny masked as musing. Questioning her fire at an age when society as script says fade. Out the room recoils a unified flinch, the air thick with unspoken outrage. Diana's face a masterpiece of micro-expressions, jaw clenching like tectonic plates, eyes flashing storm clouds, a precise pulse where tolerance snaps like a guitar string, and snap it does, she repeats as Barb slow, and searing a real risk, her voice icy inferno. Control blaze scorching the set Jimmy risks. I've danced with them since day one, risked it all, ditching the safety net for Woody S. wild whims bearing my soul in scenes. That scarred and sword wrist of rage are aging raw in a town that airbrushes eternity, picking parts with grit over glamour-flawed femmes who fight, fall, and rise roaring. Every script I signed past 58 middle finger to the discard pile, every unfiltered gray hair, every laugh line I wore like war paint defiance dialed to 11. He opens his mouth a feeble flap, but she silences him with a palm-up gesture goddess, commanding the cosmos to ban statues. The lights dimmer in deference, but the ultimate. Gamble waltzing into dens like this, betting on banter over brutality. Hosts with heart over hacks with hatchets. The hush deafening a vacuum where applause should thunder. Jimmy S. mug from cocky to cornered color draining like a bad fade. He stammers, shifts, that patronizing patter bubbling up. As last resort, look, Diane, you're reading this all wrong, tiny bit touchy. Maybe this gig-esque comedy crucible. We prod, we laugh it off, lighten up. It's not Shakespeare at showbiz shuffle audacity. Alert telling Diane freaking Keaton comedy colossus who turned neuroses into nectar with Alan Sparks' silver screen. Sorcery with Myers, that she can't hack a harmless heckle the crowd, volcanic undercurrent booze brewing beneath the breath. It's not shade, it's a slap at her comedic crown, forge in fires he couldn't fathom. Diane S. repose, pure dynamite distilled in devastating sensitive Jimmy. Let us clarify comedy as spark cruelty as chainsaw, poking fun, playful purr. What you peddle these past feverish minutes, deliberate daggers, disrespect dressed. As dialogue, he fidgets facade fracturing further, that TV polish peeling, to reveal the raw rookie beneath. Oh, please, he wheedles desperation, dripping you saying you can't weather we wink Hollywood. Heat wave Diane, if the kitchen S too hot, she slices in voice. Volcanic velvet heat, I've simmered in it. Since your diaper days, Jimmy directors barking like beast, producers prowling like predators, critics carving me confetti, but host handpicked for hospitality, turning table into torture chamber. That S not heat, that S hellfire hypocrisy, the standoff epic elemental one. On one Armageddon Diane dominating, like dawn devouring night, Jimmy pivots, plastering on a grin greasy as. Old takeout, woe Diane misstep. Maybe rewind, reset, spill on silver threads the Silver Fox saga, but she has barricaded, unyielding reset. No, sir. That Esterot you lob grenades and grin and grovel. When the blast bites back, respect, I entail remote control. It's bedrock built brick by brutal brick. Respect a hammer's home. Let it gavel from the gods, Jimmy S. mask melting into a mess of mottled maroon. With all due respect, he spits frustration, frothing this my manner, my playbook chafe at the choreography. Maybe late night S lost its luster for legends like you gas tsunami suggesting. Diane Keaton trailblazers and 70s fever dreams entertaining empires. Before he eyed him, seen belongs on the bench, arrogance, asteroid obliterating orbit. She reclines, regard a cocktail compassion, and contempt silence stretches taut as a tightrope. Then she strikes soft, but seismic Jimmy ponder this talk tightens. I've tangoed with Carson, S charm offensive letterman, S laser, with Leno S loyal levity, O'Brien's oddball orbit. Degenerous delight deluge each etched ethos, elevate the guest forge fan fires. Honor the hustle, hail the human in the hot seat. He lunges to interrupt, but she has locomotive unstoppable. But you posture as puppeteer pulling strings to shrink souls, spotlighting smarts by stomping stature entertainment. Not evisceration for ego boosts, bigger ISN, built on broken backs. It's banded brilliance, shared spotlight, scorching brighter together Jimmy S. crimson. Now composure crumbling like cookie dust that. Curated cool, a casualty of her canon. The audience on the edge teetering toward. Tidal roar Diane as dissecting decades, draping his deficits in damning detail. She pauses, let it percolate, then piles on see Jimmy. I've navigated nepotism, nightmares, sexism, sieges, ageism, avalanches, turned no S into novels, scripts into sagas. But this is betrayal of the booth, inviting icons only to impale them. It's not comedy. It's cannibalism, devouring dignity. For digital, dopamine, the set sizzle sweat. Visible on his brow band, biting lips to stifle cheers. She S not venting, she S verdict, jury end. Judge in fedora finery. He hacks a hem-haw hunting harbor Diane Simon hyperbole. Much we're pals in the biz, poking us our love language, more like low litany. She arches a brow basilisk, stare basil, ing his. Bluster pals and treat me as such not prop for your prank parade. This love tap feels like a landmine. And I'm done dancing the pivot pivotal. She has telegraphing exit energy electric. With finality, Jimmy sensing sinkage slings a lifeline. All right, truce trivia time, favorite flop. That fuel to comeback spilled desperate deflection, dodging the deluge. But Diane is done dancing. She rises regal as royalty, reclaiming realm scarf swirling like a cape and conquest truce too. Tardy Jimmy, you've turned talking to. Trial, I'm opting out the room reels, gas, global eyes go smack Diane wait. He wheedles, waving weakly. She wheels words of parting Perry wait for what more mockery. Now next time, try talking with me, not at me Hollywood has vast room for roast, but not ruin stride supreme. She sashays stage, left door clicking like a cocked hammer, silence shatters. Into storm applause, avalanche whoops, whipping wild, even crew clapping covertly, Jimmy adrift in aftermath. Mumbling well folks that S a Hollywood for your grin. A ghost glory gutted cut to commercial chaos, confidential producers panicking, PR pyro lasting. But the die is cast iron outside, exhaling empire-sized texting agent, nailed it next internet, inferno Diane drops the mic, trends tectonic clips, clocking millions in minutes, memes Manic Keaton, as gladiator Kimmel, as court jester clown feminist fist pump fans flock foes fester. But Diane Diamond unscratched, unbreakable this. Take down textbook triumph teaching tones on tenacity. Let us unpack the pandemonium pearl by pearl first to set up Diane as drop dead delicious in silver thread, scripted by a scribe sharp, as shards directed by a dame defying dudes. It's not schlock, it's symphony senior scheming heist and high rises laughing at longevity, as lies her roll razor edge matriarch Moxie incarnate, mirroring her march to misogyny, as May's promoting it pure poetry poise, a pulverized box office blues Jimmy S. Joel jarring. Juxtaposition known for knee slappers, skewering paws and celebs, but this cross from cheeky to churlish chasing, clicks over class, whispers and wings, writers warn, but ego eclipse that opening zinger zing back zenith high Diane as def dodge, dazzling her counter catalyst, catalyzing crowd conversion from Kimmel Clan to Keaton Crusade, deep dive on the duel. When he hit same character, it echoed eons of erasure women, warehoused as types men meandering freeform Diane, demolished at dossier dropping roles like depth charges K. Adams quiet quake in Godfather glory. Baby boom as business boss babe, hanging up as heartache harmonizer each evolution. Not echo proving pedigree, profound Jimmy S. jab on risks, reckless rubbing raw the resilience riddle women wagering worth. While winds whip, Western litany legendary natural aging anthem complex, character crusade persistence past prime, silencing in mid-sentence. Sovereign symbolizing sisters, standing sovereign the sensitive slur sexist slight. Staple and silencing squads die in differentiated, deftly comedy-esque caress verses. Cruelty as claw her heat history, heroic harrowing tales of harassment, hushed hurdles, hurdle with humor intact from Alan S. auteur antics to Beatty S. Red's rigor. She S. just juggernaut jabs, jamming his jaw drop, that my house huff hubris hallmark, hostess hallowed hall, turning hostile Diane S. Dean Liz Carson to Conan, dissected decorum dialogue, as duet not duel her thesis spot on True Talk titillates by touting talents not. Tormenting them Jimmy S. Red Rage rare. Reveal, reminding realms he S. human. Flawed fraying under fire the walkout watershed woman walking while winning not wrathful retreat, but regal refusal. Refusing reduction, reclaiming radiance post-panic paradigm shift Kimmel S. Camp, coughing apologies. Off-air obs Diane, S. domain devouring donations for women. S-Word's legacy, level up Metamuse, not just movie maven, but wait there S wreckage to wade, how do we get here Hollywood S hazing history host honing. Hostility for heat, guests guzzling it for glow Kimmel S kin, Colbert S carps. Fallon S fumbles, but this blatant bully ball Diane as defiance dawn of a new decree divas demanding dignity, or door flashback frenzy Dennis Dawn's 70s breakout, Godfather grip anti-acclaim Oscar ooze at 31, but battles brood body shaming barges roll, rationing post 40. Yet she surged First Wives Club firecracker, the Family Stone frostbite, feels morning glory Moxie real realm real estate, ruler book bearing then again. Trude's philanthropy powerhouse adoption, advocate environment, envoy she S not relic. She S rocket fuel for rookies Jimmy S Journey Jimmy from Jimmy ABC Ace and 03 Oscars Oracle, but Bard's backfired Trump tussles triumphant. But celeb clashes chance of his career crater confidence, cracked whispers writers walk weather vane winds, toward woke woes impact inferno, social scrolls, scorched Twitter tempest, TikTok takedowns, Reddit rants, riveting die and did what we dream drool daughters Kimmel S cook crow critics. Box boost silver threads, surges sold out screenings, saluting solidarity. Diane S. discourse dialogue detonator podcast, pondering post-respect era panels, preaching poise under provocation, lessons lava hot one legends, last by lancing lies Diane S. directness dagger to darkness to comedy as compass calibrate cruelty, or capsize three women s wattage, what for what world warping she s blueprint bounce back, bolder banner boundaries, bold encore echoes imagine aftermath, M. Diane dawns on Drew. Barrymore dishing delights as it was spa day, soul cleanse, Kimmel crickets then. Contrite column clumsy culpable cheers to champions like Keaton feud fizzle or fuel for future fireworks Hollywood S Hall of Mirrors multiplying mayhem, but core celebration Diane S dazzle undimmed dismantling doubters with decorum dynamite. She s not just survived, she s supernova scorching stereotypes to ash, so squat, what s your verdict viral victory, or villain vibe spill below subscribe for more seismic scoop spell. On for blast, the showdown scripted in stars, but soul pure unadulterated slay. Stay fierce fam next Nectar S. Nice share your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe.